Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be making an Alice band today, and this is like a covered Alice band with bullet fabric, and this is a no-sew version. The headbands that we're going to be using are all Alice bands. They're a plastic headband, extra wide. I got these from AliExpress. So they come in black or white, and I got like a mix of each colour. And they are 2-inch across to the widest part at the top. And then they taper as they go down the side. As you can see, they go down to around sort of just under 1 inch at the bottom. So that is what we're going to be using today. I'm going to use the white one because we're going to be using a grey fabric. So for the leopard print one I use black, and for the light grey I'm going to use white. This is the fabric I'm using today, Liverpool or bullet stretch fabric. It's a 4-way stretch and it comes in a variety of colours. As you can see, I've got the leopard print, and today I'm going to be using the grey on this white headband. So I've already cut this strip from my roll of fabric, and that is 4 inches wide, and I've cut it to 25 inches. If I can get to the bottom, it's 25 inches in length to the bottom there. Now I want to cut my strip of fabric so that tapers like my headband. So as you can see, I've already cut it just straight, a straight strip. So I'm going to get my rotary cutter. I got this from AliExpress also. It's got a little protective plastic covering that covers the blade. You just slide it up like that. So I'm folding my fabric in half lengthways. Try to line it up as neatly as you can. And then we're going to fold it in half again. So making sure that's folded in half quite neatly. Just move this bit over a little bit more. So we're going to fold this bit up as well, like that. I'm just going to turn this around. So I've got my open ends here, as you can see. All the open ends are this bottom end. And we're going to cut it from this bottom, or from this sort of middle here down to the bottom diagonally, like that. Now I could use my rotary cutter again for this, but I might use scissors for this part. So I'm going to cut it around 6 inches. So 6 inches up from this bottom end. So you want to start so as around 1 inch at the bottom, and then cut up diagonally. So 1 inch from that inner corner, cutting up diagonally. Now I do it by eye, but that is around, like I showed you before, around 6 inches. I'll just measure again just to show you so you can see. So yeah, it's just under, about 5.5 inches I've cut there, diagonally up from that bottom. And then when we open this up, as you can see, you've got that nice tapered end like that, and then that will taper like the headband and wrap around so you haven't got too much bulk at the bottom. So I'm just going to now flip this over so my smooth side, the inside out part, is facing up, and we're going to bring these ends together and just tie a simple knot like that. And then we're just going to adjust the knot to make sure that that's central and the right way round, and then we can slip our headband in there. So I'm just going to loosen this bottom part of the knot like that, and then we can just slip the end of our headband in there like so. And then we're just going to take that to the center of the headband, making sure that that's central with the fabric. So I'm just going to fiddle with these tails to make sure that they're the same length on either side, and once they are, I'm going to slide it off again, and then I'm just going to grab a couple of pins. So I've got 2 pins here, and then I'm just going to pin either side of this knot around sort of 1.5 to 2 inches away, just so I know roughly where that knot is going to be, because we're going to untie it again in a moment. So just pop them in there like that. And now we're going to carefully untie the knot again, being careful not to lose your pins. So just gently tease that out. And then I'll just loosen this side a little bit, as long as the pin is still in there and I can see. So as you can see, we've got the 2 pins, so we know that our knot is going to sit directly in the middle of there. So now we've got our bullet fabric sitting with the bumpy side up. We're going to glue these sides together just from this end up to just above where this pin is. So grabbing my hot glue gun, I'm just going to place some glue just above the pin. I'll just put this little stand up to make it easier. So we're going to go across this top part. I need another glue stick, I'm running out of glue actually. So just run your glue along that top part, and then I'm going to have to just remove that pin because I can't fold it. So I'll just grab this pin out, fold this in half. And then we're just going to slide this over and do exactly the same with the opposite side. So just above the pin, all the way across the top, and then folding that in half to join them 2 ends together. And now we want to turn this fabric out the right way. So I'm just going to tease this slowly out through so it's the right way. So as you can see, we've turned it in the right way, and you can't see where we've glued that together. That's all a nice neat seam with the hot glue gun. Obviously you can use a sewing machine if you've got one, that'll leave an even neater finish, but just so you can see that a hot glue gun does work just fine. So I just sped that piece of recording up while I was turning that the right way so it didn't go on forever. So now we're back to normal speed. I will just show you now that we are going to do the knot again. So where that open part is in the middle, that is where the knot is going to be. So again, tying the knot in there, in that central part, just twisting it round so the seam parts don't show and the bullet fabric is the correct way up. And then on this bottom part, we're going to slide our headband in again like we did before. So just slotting it in under that loop, bringing it to the centre of the headband like that. And then we're just going to make sure this is central now. So just pulling on these ends, we're going to keep just adjusting the fabric. So I need a little bit more this side. So just pulling on the knot, adjusting the lengths of fabric down the side to make sure they're even. A little bit more that way. Then once you're happy that the sides are even, you're just going to look at the underside of this fabric and you will see where you've got that little gap where you haven't joined the seam together. So just here, look, you can see the opening. We're going to pull that down, slide the headband down and slot that side in, and then pushing it all the way round. And then because this is a stretchy fabric, you can find the opening on this side and pull that right over and slot the opposite side in, bringing the knot back to that centre. And then once you're happy that the knot is in the centre again, you can then adjust the fabric on the side, bring it back down, and just play with your knot to make that sit nicely. And then on this underside, as you can see the opening where the fabric wasn't joined, but this knot at the bottom, you can bring that open wide, just slide out the material from the sides of the knot like this one here, and that just covers it all up. So sliding it out but still keeping that raw edge folded under, and these raw edges here, look, you can just fold them under to give that a nicer finish. keep adjusting that knot so that covers all the headband, none of the plastic is showing, and that's covering up these joins at the bottom here. And then once that's all in place, we can pop some glue in there so that don't move anymore. So I'm just bringing the fabric out, look, and just covering those gaps up. Just slide them out a little bit more, just grab hold of them and pull them out like that. And as you can see, that covers that nicely at the bottom there. Now before I do any gluing on the knot, I'm going to glue my bottom tail ends first. So at the bottom here, you've got this overhang. So I will trim a little bit of this off. We want to trim it off so you've got around a couple of centimetres to a centimetre overhang here at the bottom. So I'll just grab my scissors and just trim those ends down like that. And then I'll do the same with the opposite side, trimming off the same amount. So as you can see, we've now got around 1.5 centimetres, say, overhang. So now we're going to tuck all of this down neatly to cover over the ends of the headband. This bit can be a little bit fiddly, but we want to make a nice finish. And to do that, we're going to first tuck this outer edge down over the headband, so sort of folding it down over the end of the headband like that. Sorry about the awkward camera angle. So grabbing my hot glue gun, I'm going to place some glue inside that open end towards the outer edge, and then I'm carefully going to bring this front fabric out of the way and then tuck this down over the end of the headband like that. And then that way we can then stick these two inner pieces, sort of fold them down. I'll just pop this over my arm to keep that side out of the way. So beginning with this side, which is the side which is folded, so it's folded under this half, we're going to fold this down and stick that in first. So I'm just going to pop some glue in there, fold that raw edge down and over, and then this side we're going to bring over, fold it down and over like that as well. I'll just tuck that in there a bit more, and then we'll fold that in and over like that. So pop some hot glue in there. Be careful not to burn my fingers, just carefully fold that over, pinching that down and tucking in any little loose ends. So now we're ready to do the same on the opposite side. So again, we're just going to try and bend this out a little bit. So again, we're going to just try and fold all of these pieces down and glue them in to cover the raw edges. So starting with this outer edge, we'll tuck the hot glue gun in and just fold that over the headband, making sure we don't catch the fabric at the front. So just on that back side, move this fabric out a bit, push that down over the end of that Alice band like that. And then taking the piece that runs underneath first, which is this side, folding the fabric down and in and pushing that in. And then this last piece of fabric, folding that down and in. I'm just going to trim that off actually a little bit because we've got an extra bit sticking up. So I'm just going to tuck that piece down and then push it in like that. That just gives a neat finish if you tuck all of those raw edges down and in as best as you can. As I said, that is a little bit fiddly, but you don't see this when I was on the head anyway, but we try to do it as neat as we can. So that's all the inside now. So now we can start gluing our knot. So I'm just going to now run some glue all under this knot at the bottom here first to cover up all of those open seams. So keeping the raw edge folded under, run some hot glue along there and then push that down over the underside, and the same with the opposite end. So making sure the raw edge is tucked under, run some hot glue across there and across to where the gap is, and that will keep that all together and hide all of the plastic of the headband. And that's that half done. So now we can do the top half of the knot. So making sure all of the raw edges again are all tucked under and you're happy with how the knot sits on the top there. So just kind of tuck that all under, and once you're happy with it like that, you can then tuck the glue gun in all of those layers of the material just to hold that in place nicely. So starting with this side, I'm just going to lift the knot up and tuck it right in there so we don't get any glue overlapping or seeping out of the edges. And then just push it down and then lift the other side up, tuck the glue gun in, a little bit of glue in there and push that knot down into the fabric. And that should just be enough to hold that knot in place and hold a nice shape. And there you have your finished covered Alice bands. These are perfect for older children and obviously adults as well. I will definitely be wearing these. I love them. And I've even put in an order for some more colours of this fabric. I've ordered a lovely black, a khaki and this gorgeous safari print. So when I get that, I will have to do another tutorial and make a different style to show you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and also press the bell button to turn on notifications. Thank you for watching everyone. I'll be back again soon. Bye bye.